Hey folks, we're back again. Now, as I believe I mentioned earlier, I'm having a bit of trouble with the um, that one recording style because it was reversing images, and fortunately somebody pointed that out. But even though it's kind of an insight into the left-hander's world, having to reverse things in your head, I'm not going to inflict that on you. So what I am going to inflict upon you is that whole motion sickness thing where I put this camera in the tracks. So if you've got a jippy tummy, maybe I want to rephrase that, close your eyes right now. And open them. Okay, here we are with a kilt in the Robertson tartan modern palette that I made some 15 years ago. And the chap has brought it to me because he's with the passage of time, his figure has become more important, shall we say. So we're going to alter it. It needs to be let out about 4 inches at waist and hip. Pas de problème, because I made it, I know what to expect inside. Right away, I'm kind of laughing at myself because looking at the buttonhole, you can see how the thread is bleached out. And that is because at the time I didn't have a source for proper silk buttonhole thread. So I was using linen thread. Linen's difficult to dye, or at least the selection was limited then. All I had was natural color, sort of off-white. So I was, when I'd cut a piece of linen, I would put it between 2 Sharpies and draw it through to darken it. But we can see that wasn't a raging success because it's bleached out. So we're going to remove that and we're going to replace it with proper silk. And the same thing, I had sewn these on with linen because it's nice heavy thread. I don't think that's necessary. I do have, in fact, have black linen, so I could just replace that with black linen. But it's pretty straightforward. Did I move that strap one time? Because this is perfectly located. But this strap looks like, looking at that red line and that detail, buckle, McDonald. It looks like this should have properly been there. So that red line lined up there and that lined up with that. So confusing. Okay. If I'd given him the top roll of cloth, he doesn't remember if it still exists. He thinks he might have made it into crafty things. So what I'm going to do is the top band is going to come off. The buckles are going to come off. The lining is going to come mostly out. In fact, I might as well take it completely out because, of course, I need to be able to re-sew that, and I need to re-sew the buckle tabs, and I sew it through and through. So the lining is going to completely come out. I'm going to unpick both aprons, inner and outer, press them flat, and then make them up again to account for his change in dimension. He's still only, what is he, a 44 waist? Let me look at my measurements. AKA not very much at all. Yeah, he's a 42 waist, so he's more slender than I. I'm not slender. So no biggie, but we do have that canvas inside, which I don't want to replace the entire canvas. I might just splice a piece of canvas on, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So that'll occur at both ends, at each end. Then, the canvas having been done, I will, and the aprons, again, let out, as I reattach the top apron, match it as best I can. We want it to be properly lined up, match the tartan here. Of course, it doesn't matter here. And of course, it's going to run out around here. So we're going to make up. I'm going to go through my bag, my big box of offcuts, and see if I can either find a match for this. I haven't done too many Robertson kilts. Either find a match for this, possibly just black watch, the government tartan, or failing that, just a plain strip of green worsted wool ribbon, or tape, I should say. And the straps are okay. These are these slightly lighter weight straps when the supplier I had at the time basically had two thicknesses of leather, too light and too heavy. This is what I would call on the light side, but it hasn't wasted. It hasn't stretched. So I think I can recycle both of those. They look okay. They don't need replacing. Then after all of that, baste it up, give it a press, and then give them a call. Right, so I'm going to get to work on this. My apprentice is on his way over. We're going to have a cup of tea and catch up and discuss future projects and such like that. So I'm going to get a few hours in on this in the morning and probably carry on right through until the afternoon. So that's Station McDonald tuning out. So for those of you with motion sickness, close your eyes now.